Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. I'm Annie Douglas, the Chief Mom Ambassador here at Moms Meet. I'm excited that you all could join us for our webinar, which is brought to you by SheaMoisture. Today, you'll be learning more about selecting safe and natural products for your little ones, which is a very important topic for us moms. So let me introduce you to your host for today's session, Paula Miranda. Paula is a blogger and a busy mom who is actively involved in various health and wellness initiatives for different organizations. So with that said, Paula, please take it away.
Thank you very much, Annie. Hi, all you mommies out there. It's an absolute pleasure of mine to be a part of this today, and I'm really so excited to be hosting it. I think it's pretty unbelievable that we can all be in our own personal space, but yet we're all sharing this time together to really take the initiative to really learn about what is in SheaMoisture baby products and why they really are so much of the very best ingredients and things that nature has to offer. To give you guys a little insight on my background, I was born and raised in Los Angeles, California, and I traveled all throughout the world from the time I was a teenager until just recently I finally based myself back in Los Angeles. And during which the time when I was modeling in my 20s, I had a daughter who was now 13 years old. And while I was pregnant with her, I kind of just started to recognize what things went into different products that were affecting my skin. My skin was getting really kind of weird, dry irritations and what have you. And so I started looking into what ingredients were in the products that I was using, assuming that that was why, or contributing to why I was having different reactions and skin irritations. And as I started to do more and more research, I looked at what was inside the different ingredients of the products I was using, and I saw that there were a lot of unnatural ingredients, and there were a lot of ingredients that really didn't have any real reason why they were there. And I just decided that I wanted to pay more attention to using more natural ingredients that did have different healing benefits that could be listed, that had, you know, centuries of information on them that were proven to be beneficial to my skin and my body. And so I just made it a point to use products that were all natural on myself and on my daughter. And once she was born and I was using all these different more natural ingredients on my daughter, she never had any skin irritations. There was never any inflammation that could not be taken care of very quickly with the different products I was using. Now to kind of jump forward to how I was introduced to SheaMoisture, I was pregnant with my son, who's now 1 year old. And I started to just kind of walk around Target one day, roaming, and ended up in the healthcare section where they had different lotions and such. And I noticed that there was this new lotion I had, excuse me, hadn't seen before, called SheaMoisture and SheaMoisture Baby. And that's the first thing that I noticed, was that they had shea in it, and shea butter I was aware of as to be a very great product that people would use for a moisturizer and as a lotion and so forth, as well to actually consume. And so I started to basically turn over the bottle and look at what was in the ingredients, and I saw everything in there was very natural, had a natural base in it. So I decided to take it home with me, and in doing that, I went back the next day after using it one night and got the entire collection and thought it was the most amazing product I'd come across in a very long time. So I'm very grateful to have come across it, and to be speaking about it today is really a privilege and an honor. Okay, so if we just kind of talk about the history of SheaMoisture and how it came to be. We cannot deny the legacy that stands. Sophie Tucker was a woman who was a mother. She was a mother of 4. She found herself to be widowed, and she needed to find a way to support her family and, put food on the table. And so as she was a young girl, she was brought up around shea butter and so forth, and decided to make all her own creations and sell them all throughout Sierra Leone in her town and so forth. And so there's a certain kind of legacy that goes there. It's proven that SheaMoisture has lasted quite a long time and crossed over into several different generations. Now, Richard Lou Dennis is Sophie Tucker's grandson, and Mary Dennis, you see in the photo right below him, she's his mother, and that's Sophie Tucker's daughter. Can we just start by saying that her skin looks absolutely radiant, and to think that she's in her 60s or 70s and this woman is standing there with radiant skin that looks like flawless. So that proves to stand very strong with me in recognizing when a product works, and especially with natural products, to see that they kind of stand the test of time. Now, Richard Lou Dennis and his business partner and childhood friend, Naima Tubman, both founded the company, SheaMoisture, in a relaunch a couple years ago, and since then have been just managing to create these amazing products that really do stem back from Richard Lou's grandmother, Sophie Tucker. Now, what is SheaMoisture, and who is SheaMoisture? Well, one, they believe that the best ingredients come from nature, and I think that that stands without question. They also believe that fruits, vegetables, flowers, all of those things that come from nature provide us with the nutrients and the vitamins and minerals that we need to be able to kind of use as building blocks for ourselves to generate healthy, beautiful skin. And giving babies that opportunity from the time they're born is really giving them, that much more to be able to kind of have a stronger immune system built up and so forth as they grow, and also educating them in a way to where they understand what is good for their body and they understand what should be put on their bodies. As we know, our skin is our largest organ, and it's basically the first line of defense that we have is what we put on our skin. And so it's important to understand that we have to be careful about what we put on our skin and what we put on our baby skin, because it is so sensitive and it's new, and to be able to find ways to put natural barriers to protect their skin so it can protect them from all the harmful elements that might exist in our environment today, besides the weather, even fabrics, and basically anything that touches our baby's skin. We want to know we're giving them anything that they need to protect it. And as you can also see, SheaMoisture includes organic ingredients whenever it's possible, and essential oil fragrances and flower essence as well is included in the scents that they have acquired. Now, more than anything, SheaMoisture prides themselves the most in what they do not put in their products. So let it be understood that they really do make a conscious effort to follow what is happening in our world and the way that different synthetics are used, and it's important to them that they do not include any of those things in their products, and so that in a sense is protecting our babies. The first thing is sulfates. I mean, basically it's that stuff that bubbles up and lathers up. It draws moisture from the skin, and isn't that what we're trying to avoid? We're trying to actually, maintain moisture and add more moisturizing elements to our skin. So SLS and SLES are both not included in any of the SheaMoisture products. through different tests and so forth, it's proven that they're actually, it makes the skin very vulnerable, and it causes the skin tissues to absorb, and basically it absorbs the SLS in such a way to where it causes a lot of irritations, itchy scalp, itchy skin, and it can even cause hair loss because it breaks down the and corrodes the hair follicles. Now, silicones are also something that's avoided. Silicones are basically sealants. They basically don't allow the skin or the hair to breathe. Parabens do the same, except they actually also fight off bacteria, but it's man-made, so it's a little different. It mimics estrogen and plays a role in the development of cancer as well. It's also an endocrine disruptor, so it breaks down your system in a sense, which there's no need for that to be in a skincare product, really. It's not helping your skin, it's not helping your body, it's breaking down your body, and it's not giving it the proper elements it needs to be able to protect itself. There's no synthetic fragrances in there that have been proven to be very toxic and cancer-causing. And then also DEA and TEA are exempt from all SheaMoisture products. Now, I don't know if you guys are familiar with those two elements, but basically these are hormone-disrupting chemicals, and they have been proven to form cancer-causing agents. They affect the liver and the kidney directly in a negative way, and so that is avoided. As well, PVP is another very, very harmful chemical that is derived from petroleum, and that's considered to be very toxic. And I mean, petroleum, why would we want to put that on our skin? That's basically a crude oil byproduct of gasoline, and so that's going to be avoided at all costs. Overall, the idea of it is that all of these different ingredients that are in different products that are out on the shelves, a lot of people don't really take the time to look at the back of the label and see what's in the ingredients. And that's something that I would encourage all of you mommies to do, because there's probably things in your cabinets that you don't notice might have harmful ingredients in them that might be the cause of why your skin is irritated or why your baby has a certain rash. And all of that can be avoided very easily by trying to stick to a more naturally based products that do not have any of these different elements included in their product ingredients. So basically, all of this matters because our skin is our largest organ, and approximately 60% of everything that we put on our skin, studies show, has been absorbed. So it is drastically important to understand that our skin is not only trying to breathe in oxygen and give that to our bodies, and it absorbs everything that's around us. And the number one thing is that our skin touches things, and what we put on our skin, we have to make sure that we're protecting it and that we're doing our part to make sure that our skin recognizes it and can process it properly. Now, the foundation of all the products that SheaMoisture carries is in the name itself, shea. So it's shea butter. Shea butter is rich in different emollients. It's fatty acids and vitamins and different healing elements that are really vital to our skin and our hair. As well, there are other ingredients that are included that are very important to SheaMoisture babies lotions, which are organic herbs and oils, different butters. All of these include argan, chamomile, olive oil, marula oil, red bush, and babosa. So the collections, this is the fun part, because now I get to really talk about what I love the most about SheaMoisture's products. Initially, I was introduced to the Center collection, which is the original collection, shea, chamomile, and argan oil. the first thing that drew me to opening up the bottle was really reading what was in there. When I opened up the bottle and smelled it, I kind of lost it for a second. I immediately responded to it. It's an earthy scent. It's a warm scent. There's a buttery kind of scent to it. It really is a fragrance that can be, it can be for a man or for a woman, for a boy or for a girl. It's really so, the variation in that is really what I find to be remarkable. It's the lotion I'll talk about first. The healing lotion to the right in the center is so light, but it's absorbent. It's really easy to use. You can use it all over your body. You can use it on your face. It's great to do a quick little baby massage. It's going to absorb well. It's not going to leave any weird residue, and it's going to leave your baby's skin looking and feeling just healthy and luminous. Then in the center, there's the tube for the healing ointment, and that is probably one of my most favorite products. I carry it in my baby bag. I carry it in my, actually in my handbag as well. It's very rich, and so, you know, it really does go a long way. You can take a pea-sized amount and use it on anything from chapped lips, if you have chafing, also if you have any sort of skin irritations or dry spots that come up on your baby. I use it for my son when he has diaper rash sometimes. If he has a little skin irritation, I'll use it. Even if he has a cut, I'll put a little bit on there just to kind of protect it and put a protective layer of sealant to kind of protect the exposed area from anything that could hurt it or harm it or, you know, cause it to get more irritated. Now to the left, you'll see the raw shea baby butter that is for eczema therapy. Now that is a pretty phenomenal product. I have to share a story. I was talking to a girlfriend one day who's also a mommy, and her son was having some issues with his skin. She started to notice different signs of eczema, and she had to take him into 2 different dermatologists and plus a pediatrician to try to get his eczema taken, just kind of get some control over the irritations and the inflammation. And nothing seemed to be working for her. And so she called me out of frustration, was sharing with me what was going on with her son, and you know, he was starting to cry a lot, and at night he would scratch himself and it might bleed sometimes. It was really very severe. And so immediately I started thinking of how I could help, and I basically sent her a box, and it had the eczema therapy butter in it as well as the healing ointment, and then I also purchased the bar of soap that is also focused on eczema and psoriasis that SheaMoisture Baby offers. And so I sent those to her, and immediately, within maybe 2 or 3 days of her using it, she's calling me back, raving, going, oh my gosh, you wouldn't believe it. He's already stopped itching. Some of the inflammation's gone down. He finally, like some of his areas that were extremely dry and irritated are already showing signs that they're healing up well. And you know, even some of the uneven tones are starting to balance out just from using the product daily. And so for me, that spoke volumes on the quality of the product and how it really does mean everything that it lists it does help with. And I appreciate that as a mommy, to know that you can really put trust in a product and know that what it says it does, it actually stands by firmly, and it really does do what it says. So for any babies or anyone that has any symptoms associated with eczema or psoriasis, cracking, chafing, even if you just have like chapped lips, I would recommend the healing ointment and also the eczema therapy body butter as well, because it's pretty phenomenal. Now if we go to the left of the screen and you see the beautifully colored blue bottle packaging on all of the Marula baby lotion and the wash shampoo. Those 2 products are just as amazing as the chamomile and argan oil. The difference is, I would say, one, obviously the scent. There's a fresh green kind of floral scent that olive and marula has. Again, it's very moisturizing, and from the olive oil that is extremely moisturizing, and the marula oil, which is also very moisturizing, they're both known to be trees of life, and they have a reputation that stands centuries long on being something that is a standard element that needs to be in every home for various reasons. But the healing elements and benefits from olive and marula stand to be very consistent when it comes to moisturizing the skin and making sure that the skin is protected. And so that one is quite brilliant for those. And then if you go to the far right, you see the red bush and babasu. And that one there, the red bush and babasu, basically red bush, it's a tea, it's a tree, it's a leaf, it's high in antioxidants. And so it's going to help to protect and soothe. And so yet again, it's still calming and comforting like the chamomile and argan oil are, but then it also adds the element of this like immune booster and this protector to kind of give that extra barrier. So if you're looking for a lotion that is going to help protect the skin and just add elements of immune boosting, then those benefits would derive from this lotion and this wash and shampoo. Now the scent that is attached to this is much more mild, and it is very soft. It kind of has a very elegant fragrance to it, and I would say that for someone that doesn't really want to have any fragrances that are too overpowering, then they would appreciate the red bush and babasu because it actually is a very light scent. All I can say about all three of these collections is whether you stick to one certain scent or whether you like to mix them and move them around, they really are all amazing. And you can it's nice because you can create your own scent. If you wanted to mix the red bush and babasu because you feel like maybe the environment's been a little harsh lately, there's been a lot of wind or what have you, so maybe you use the wash and shampoo lotion there, but then yet your baby needs to be calmed down because you're giving them a bath at night. So maybe then you want to match it up and use the head to toe ointment and give a little massage, or use some of the healing lotion as well to kind of get all over the body moisturizing. So yet again, with the chamomile and argan oil, they're known to be calming. They're known to be anti-inflammatory in the different properties that they have, and specifically with any symptoms of eczema and psoriasis, the chamomile and the argan oil are going to work hand in hand to really offer the moisturizing benefits, but then also helping with reducing inflammation or any irritants that might come from having a more sensitive skin and not really being able to find a certain kind of level calmness. The chamomile is going to give that, and the argan oil is going to complement that, and then also just give an abundance of the levels of moisturizing antioxidants and fatty acids that our skin really requires at different times and needs. With the olive and marula baby moisturizing lotions and shampoos, there's, again, it's not only the scent that has a certain kind of beautiful floral, fresh scent, a very green kind of scent, if you should say, but then also it's going to moisturize the skin and give a lot more of the healing properties that one would need if they had a little bit of dry skin, if they noticed that their skin was drying out a little bit because of the elements, then this would be the perfect collection for you to be using. And then finally, the red bush and babusa. Now, the red bush, it actually stems from the rooibos tree, and so this has high antioxidant levels. It helps to act as a barrier between the skin and the environment. It also has different cancer-fighting properties that help to boost the immune system. It's going to help with soothing any irritations and such that might happen on your baby's skin. And as well, it contains high levels of zinc and vitamin B5 that are going to really just give your baby that much more protection. And the babusu is going to also complement everything that the red bush is doing. But it also is very interesting because it comes from the palm tree nut, and the oil that's extracted, it's actually an emollient, and it's so rich in vitamin E that it leaves this really beautiful coat on your skin but your skin is still able to breathe. But at the same time, it's not greasy, and it's not going to give any sort of weird residue. It's going to leave your skin with this really special glow without actually feeling like there's like this oily slick on your skin. And and then as well, it's going to also help with just protecting whatever environment your baby might be in, to make sure that there's a nice barrier of protection for them and for their skin, so that they don't have any sort of irritations or inflammations that come up from the exposures that they've had. And so last but not least, I'd like to just add that with SheaMoisture and the SheaMoisture family, what they really want to do is give you guys a clear understanding about what is in their products and why they use their products. And hopefully I've managed to explain all of that to you guys a little bit more in depth. And they just wanted to let you know that it really is important to them what you think about their products and why you use their products, and why you see a benefit in using more all-natural ingredients. And they want to hear back from you. So if there's any way that you guys can all go to Facebook and look up SheaMoisture Baby and like us on the page, then you get a $1 off coupon. As well, you can follow us on Twitter at SheaMoisture for you, and please, comment. Then there's also the website that you can register for different updates. You can also just inquire directly and find out about any new projects and things that are going on, new products that are happening to come on the shelves very soon. So you can visit us at www.SheaMoisture.com. And as well, I would love to keep in contact with all of you mommies as well. My website is called www.paulaisms.com, and I just basically give my take on everything having to deal with being a mommy and the lifestyle of living nowadays as a mommy, and what that entails, being a woman that does it all. And I believe that nowadays as mommies, we kind of do a little bit of everything, and so I look forward to hearing from all of you and staying in contact with you. And now I'd like to leave it up to you to, one more thing, where you can purchase the different SheaMoisture products. You can go to Harmon, you can go to KiwiShopOnline.com and actually get a 20% off coupon there. And then also Target and Walgreens is where you can find a lot of SheaMoisture Baby products as well. So now, last but not least, I'd like to leave it up to you guys. I'd love to hear any questions that you might have, and I will answer them as well as I possibly can.
Great. Thank you so much, Paula. That was a great presentation, a lot of very good information. So we're going to be taking everyone's questions now. We're going to have a little bit of a Q&A time. So if you want to go ahead and type in all your questions in the chat window on your control panel, go ahead and do so. And we already have some good questions here, so I'm going to get started, Paula. So we have one mom who is wondering, is the ointment cloth diaper safe?
Is the ointment process safe?
For those who are using cloth diapers for their baby, are the SheaMoisture products and the ointment, is it safe for the cloth diaper?
Yes, absolutely. Because they're natural, they are going to absorb onto the skin. They're not going to leave a residue on the diaper that would cause any sort of interruption in being able to kind of protect the baby from diaper rash or anything like that. It's actually going to assist in promoting the detouring from having the diaper rash.
Okay, great. And we have one mom was wondering, what other brands, do you compare the SheaMoisture products to, and why, then is the SheaMoisture product preferred over those other brands?
For myself personally, I would say basically I found that SheaMoisture does everything and that much more than a lot of the brands that you would find in, let's say, Target or Babies R Us or, Walgreens that might claim to have the same motives as to, maybe their intention is to protect the babies from diaper rash or what have you. But, I find myself that if I do things in a more natural way, then it just is I get a better result that way. And so some of the other products that are out there that are much more commonly used, they tend to either, one, if they claim they're natural, but then when I look at the ingredients and I see they actually do not have all natural ingredients, there are quite a few different chemicals that are actually similar to the ones that SheaMoisture prides themselves that they don't have, like the DEA and the different petroleum-based ingredients like paraffin and so forth. Mineral oil even, those are very commonly used in a lot of other baby products, and also even products that claim to be all natural. And then when you turn around and you see what the ingredients has in it, it says that it is actually, the first thing on there will say mineral oil. And that's what I find to be very concerning. And then physically, I find that not only for myself, but for my two children now, they both have sensitive skin, as do I. And so a lot of the times I find that I get an actual rash or a reaction from using products that have mineral oil and paraffin and things like that in them, which is why I completely avoid them. So SheaMoisture is basically my choice because of the fact that everything in the ingredients is listed, and it truly is an all-natural product, and my skin doesn't have those skin irritations from using their products, and my babies don't get any skin irritations at all. And so if I can avoid that at all costs, then I'm going to stick with what I know. So SheaMoisture is what I know to promote healthier skin and to promote the protection that I look for to assist my baby's skin and just being as healthy as possible.
Right, great. Thank you for explaining that. One of the moms on here is wondering about, using one of the products maybe in place of a diaper rash cream of some sort. I mean, have you had experience with that? And if so, which one of the products would probably be the best to help with diaper rash?
Okay, well, yes, I did. My son, when he was first born, I didn't quite know what diapers I wanted to use. I didn't know whether I wanted to use cloth or just in general. I didn't know what was going to fit his body and kind of fit for him the best. What would be the best fit? So I started using a certain kind of diaper, and unfortunately, he started to get a little diaper rash immediately. After like 2 or 3 changes, I saw that his skin was getting very irritated. So I had the healing ointment on hand that I already knew from being pregnant and using it for different spot treatments and things that with different skin irritations that would come up on myself. I decided, okay, well, I'm going to use this and see if this would be a great kind of barrier for his skin that would protect his skin from getting any more irritation. And literally after the first time that I used it, I saw in the next changing that I did on my son, I noticed immediately that there was the redness and the kind of the inflamed areas had already calmed down. As well, I noticed by the third or fourth change that day that for the most part, the irritation was almost gone. And by the next day, it was gone. And mind you, I caught it before it got very severe. But at the same time, the healing ointment did exactly what it says it was going to do. And from the research and knowledge that I've kind of attained from learning about the different ingredients like the chamomile and the argan oil and the shea base and foundation of all their products, I already knew that that would be a benefit to him. So I definitely recommend the healing ointment for any sort of diaper rash. And you know, it goes a long way. You don't need very much. A pea-size amount will go very far. You just, you know, you take that pea-size amount, you can either rub it on your fingertips and kind of rub them together, and you'll see immediately it'll melt on your skin, and then you can just apply it. And, you know, it's your body temperature that it reacts to in a sense to where it just melts down into this really fine, clear liquid. And sometimes there might be like a little graininess to it, but if you just keep rubbing it, it'll kind of melt it down into that really nice, sleek liquid feel. And then you just apply it wherever you need it. And, you know, one of my favorite parts about the ointment is that it really does last a long time. So, you know, a little bit goes a long way.
Great. I mean, we have a couple of people who are saying that, you know, their babies, their kids have trouble with eczema. So could you clarify kind of which product specifically would be the best for that? And in addition to that, you know, is this product, you know, only usable for, you know, babies or toddlers, or can older kids use it?
Well, let me just answer that last portion first by saying yes. My daughter, she's 13 now, so I'm dealing with a toddler and a teenager at the same time. And it can be a challenge. Sometimes I don't know who's the toddler in the bunch, and sometimes I feel like Axel's the teenager. But that's my son's name, Axel. But anyways, yes, my daughter is constantly trying to snatch up my son's healing ointment, especially because she likes to use that on her lips, and she also likes to use it on her hands sometimes now that she's, you know, in going to school and working with different paperwork and just outside playing all day and so forth. Her hands get really dry, and so she likes to put the ointment on in the morning because that actually helps to hold the moisture in her skin throughout the day. It lasts a lot longer. So, yes, I would recommend using SheaMoisture Baby for older kids as much as younger kids. I think especially for, you know, preschool kids, they're outside and they're rough, they're playing, they're climbing, they're, you know, doing all these outdoors activities, and no better reason why to use SheaMoisture than that, because you're going to know that their skin is getting better protected because they're using these products that really are all about making sure that the skin is protected and that they're getting the healing benefits that are offered up to them by using the products. Now, as far as the eczema goes, like I said, I was sharing the story earlier about my girlfriend whose son had a really extreme case of eczema. And I'm just trailing back to something in my notes. So yet again, with the original collection, the gold label that is the Shea Chamomile Argan Oil, that collection has, as you guys saw earlier in one of the photos, you could see the tub of the eczema therapy, and that is it's a much denser, more intense body butter that is great for any part of the body. It could be the back of the ears, it could be in the neck or on the scalp even, for their children and for babies. If they have any sort of symptoms of cracking and chafing, then they can use that. And just the same, you take a small little amount and you rub it through your hands, and then you can basically see that immediately the blend will just kind of melt down into your hands, and then you can apply it wherever they need it. And even with a light touch, because I know sometimes it can be very sensitive and that there are areas that really bother them and that might be inflamed or itchy, they don't want you to touch it. But with this, it's not going to be sticky. It's not harsh at all. And so when you approach their skin, because it's melted down from your rubbing it in your hands and stuff beforehand, it really does soothe immediately. And they will kind of gain more trust in that, they'll let you touch them because they know that this, you're putting a little bit of medicine on them almost, like you're helping with these different irritations, and you're putting an ointment on there that's going to, help make their owie better. And the healing ointment is also very, I'm searching for the word, but basically it also has the same benefits as the eczema therapy does, although the eczema therapy is a little bit more concentrated. That's the word I was looking for, concentrated. It's a little thicker. It's a little richer. The healing ointment is also concentrated in a sense to where it's very thick, and you have to use a little force when you're squeezing it out. But in doing that, it's because the shea nut butter is a solid. It's in a solid form, and even though there's been this lovely mixture of all these other elements of argan oil and chamomile and so forth that have been added into the ingredients, at the same time it's still a solid form. So you might need to kind of squeeze it out a little bit, but once you do, then it immediately, once it touches your skin, it melts down to a consistency that is a little bit more customary in a sense to where you can do it for, you can rub it through your hands for 2 seconds, or you can actually take some time and really get it nice and warm and get the lotion to really break down, to melt down in a really nice, thin, liquidy form, and then you apply wherever needed. But I do know offhand through several different friends that I've recommended or given these the eczema therapy products to, because they have a soap bar that you can actually use as well for their bath that's specific to the symptoms associated with eczema and psoriasis, and then also complementing that by following up with either the healing lotion ointment, the healing ointment, or the eczema therapy, in which both of them work tremendously in just assisting in kind of solving the problem instead of causing the problem to get worse by causing more inflammation or irritation. It really does help with making the owie better, Yeah,
great. Thank you. Now, for those wondering about the baby products specifically, we have one mom asking about the scent. Do you have any of the baby products as an unscented formula?
No, there isn't an unscented formula, but as I said before, the red bush and babasu, that would be the scent if you're looking for the lightest scent, for the softest scent that would carry. That would be the one that they would want to use.
And is that the one that you would recommend maybe for newborns?
I honestly, for my son, I use the original scent, the chamomile and argan oil. I just have a special connection with it. I feel like SheaMoisture created that scent just for me. I really honestly do. So I feel like it was customized just for me. So I personally, I use that on my son when he was very young as an infant. But if you're looking for something that doesn't really carry a very strong scent or that is the least fragrance, then the red bush babasu is what you would use.
Okay, great. And are there any separate products for adults?
Yes, there actually are. SheaMoisture has an entire collection of skincare and hair care products. So if you go to any of the different stores I was mentioning, Target and Walgreens and Harmon, all of those actually have the SheaMoisture, the entire SheaMoisture lines in other parts of their stores. So specifically, if you're going to the men's hair care line or if you're going to the women's hair care line, you'll see an entire line specific to all of a woman's needs for hair as well as for skin. There's different body scrubs that are really amazing, sugar and salt body scrubs. There's different oils. I prefer to use the olive oil that is I like to use it in my bath, so I sprinkle a little bit of the oil into my bath. And, you know, it just adds a nice little element where I feel like I'm at the spa even though I might not be in the spa. Because as a mommy, you can't really get to the spa as much as I think all of us would like to. But yeah, so there are a lot of other products. You know, I would highly recommend to really just search out SheaMoisture's entire collection and their entire line of skincare and hair care products because they are all quite exceptional.
Great, great. We have just a few more questions and then we're going to wrap up. So we have one person just wondering, and she just wants to confirm that all of the SheaMoisture products, are they organic or with using organic ingredients?
Yes, they are as organic as they can possibly be. There are times that maybe there's one ingredient that for whatever reason it just doesn't, there's no way that it can be sold as organic or whatever. So they might not have everything organic, but as much of the organic ingredients they can include, they do. Mm-hmm. And for everything else, it's definitely all natural. So that's something that that's a standard that they stand very firmly on.
Okay, great, great. And do you know if any of the products, or the baby products specifically, are there any dyes in it at all?
Are there any what? I'm sorry?
Dyes.
Any dyes in their product?
Dyes, sorry. Like
dyes, no. There are no dyes. There are no
Okay.
dyes. There's no, there's nothing that's going to alter what naturally these things look like. So basically, there are times to where I myself have noticed that the lotions might actually kind of carry a different sort of hue, where maybe it's a little pinkish hue, or maybe the healing ointment might actually be a little bit of a whiter look instead of being a little bit more yellow at times. And all of that is basically, it stems back to because they're using all natural products and because they're using them in the most organic way, there's going to be variances, just like in nature. So maybe one season the nuts are harvested and there's, you know, heavier rains that season, or when the nuts were harvested, maybe it was hotter that season. All of those different elements are going to add to basically contribute in making the different variances visible. So it might be that, you know, the shea butter, that harvesting was a little bit more white, and so then the paste will, you know, the paste will kind of look a little bit more white, and the mixture will kind of carry a whiter hue at times. So it might look as though things are inconsistent, but that is the way that nature is. And they feel like it's important to communicate to all of their consumers that they want all of us mommies to know that what they're using in the products are all natural, and they're not adding dyes, they're not adding perfumes, they're not adding any fragrances. Nothing is unnatural about what they put and include in their ingredients.
Great, great. Yeah, thank you for clarifying that. And here's our final question. One mom is wondering where SheaMoisture is located.
SheaMoisture is, well, they took, you know, what Sophie Tucker created in Africa. They took that and they basically then somehow ended up in New York, and so they actually are based in New York now.
Okay, great, great. All right, so thank you so much. Paula, would you mind kind of just showing that the screen where moms can purchase the product?
Yes.
Or to just show the retailers one more time. And everyone, I just want to remind you that you could find SheaMoisture products on kiwishoponline.com, and you can use that the promo code that we provided just for you to get 20% off SheaMoisture products. Oh, there it is.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be really great, and definitely make sure you check out SheaMoisture on Facebook and Twitter. And also, I wanted to just let all the moms who are trying SheaMoisture with your groups as you're sampling the product. I just wanted to let you know that make sure you log into Green Moms Meet, download the sampling guide, and make sure you learn more about SheaMoisture before you meet with your groups. And we're really looking to forward to hearing more about what you have to say about the product. So we're excited about that. So with that said, it is time to wrap up. Paula, did you have any last words that you'd like to share?
Just enjoy these products. I think that all of you mommies will not be disappointed by using these products at all. And I really hope that they do help and assist all of you in just helping your babies have the best skin that they can have, and helping to also heal their skin if they have any sort of different ailments. And I stand very strongly behind this product line. I think that it's amazing, and it really has changed so many different people's lives in a sense with dealing with different ailments and issues that they might have with their skin. So I'm confident that all of you will really enjoy it, and I would love to kind of hear from you guys and see if you have any other questions as well. Please don't hesitate to contact me either on Twitter or on Facebook, and as well on my website. So I hope to stay in contact with all of you. It was an absolute pleasure, and thank you very much for being here and having me.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much, Paula. All right, and thanks everyone for attending. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. All right, we're going to sign off. Thank you. Bye-bye.